For more than a century, photography has lived with a quiet anxiety. Every major technological shift, from roll film to 35mm, from color to digital sensors, from Photoshop to smartphones, has triggered the same question.
Is this the end of photography?
Cinema has experienced the same fear. Sound, color, digital cameras, CGI, virtual production, each innovation was seen as a threat before it became a tool. Today, that question has returned with unprecedented force, driven by generative artificial intelligence. AI systems can now produce images, and even moving images, that appear photographic or cinematic without a camera, without light, without a physical moment unfolding in front of a lens. And so many have concluded, quickly and emotionally, that photography and filmmaking are finished. But before accepting that verdict, we must ask a more precise question. What kind of photography and what kind of filmmaking are we actually talking about? Photography, just like filmmaking, has never been a single unified practice. From the beginning, both mediums have existed in at least two parallel worlds. One is functional, commercial, and consumer-oriented. Photography as service, production, illustration, and visual utility. The other is artistic, conceptual, and philosophical. Image-making as authorship, presence, interpretation, and lived experience. Generative AI has not affected these two worlds equally. Let us begin with the area where the disruption is real and undeniable. In advertising, product photography, stock imagery, fashion campaigns, commercial video, and brand filmmaking, AI is already changing the structure of production. Why? Because these fields are primarily judged by efficiency, cost, speed, and surface aesthetics. An advertising image is often not valued for its relationship to reality, but for its effectiveness in persuasion. A commercial video is not judged by the depth of its authorship, but by clarity, consistency, and turnaround time. In these contexts, AI is not an enemy. It is an optimization tool. Why hire a photographer, a cinematographer, a studio, a lighting crew, actors, and post-production teams to visualize a fictional scenario when a prompt can generate dozens of acceptable versions in minutes? This is not a philosophical question, it is an economic one. And historically, whenever photography or filmmaking served industry more than authorship, automation eventually followed. But this does not describe photography and cinema as art. And this distinction is essential, because neither photography nor filmmaking was ever defined by technical exclusivity.
Susan Sontag wrote, "A photograph is not just the result of an encounter between an event and a photographer. It is also a trace of a lived decision." Artistic photography and filmmaking are not merely about producing images or sequences. They are about the act of being there. They involve time, waiting, repetition, failure, doubt, physical limitation, and emotional risk. A camera does not simply record reality, it records a position within reality. Yes, AI can simulate appearance, it can generate convincing images and videos, it can generate scenes, actors, and environments. But filmmaking as an art has never depended on realism alone. What AI lacks is not realism, it lacks presence. AI does not wait in the rain. AI does not doubt. AI does not miss a moment and regret it for years. Therefore, AI does not author experience. This is why generative AI threatens image production, but not image authorship. This fact reveals something that was always true, but often hidden. Much of what we consumed as photography or filmmaking was never really about vision. It was about output. Now that output can be automated, the difference becomes visible. At this point, it's worth pausing, because this distinction between output and authorship also explains where AI actually makes sense in practice.
And this brings us naturally to the sponsor of today's video,
In our own work, especially when dealing with commercial or experimental video, we'd been using the Dream Machine, specifically their latest model, Ray 3 Pi. Now with native 1080p across core workflows and video generation that's up to 4 times faster at 720p compared to Ray 3.0. What stood out to us immediately was predictability. With most generative video tools, you're guessing, regenerating endlessly, hoping the result lands close to your intention. With Ray 3 Pi, we're not guessing anymore, we're actually directing. It allows us to keep the performance intact, the timing, the movement, the emotional rhythm, while changing the look in a controlled way. That shift is subtle but crucial. It's the closest thing we've used to a truly AI-powered post-production tool, one where decisions feel human-led rather than random. This is what we'd call hybrid AI storytelling. The look can change, but the performance stays. If you want to try the Dream Machine with Ray 3 Pi, visit lumalabs.ai/photographic inspiration. Use the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen.
What remains untouched by automation is meaning. Henri Bresson did not matter because he captured reality sharply, but because he captured it intentionally, at the intersection of form, intuition, and lived awareness. William Eggleston did not revolutionize photography by improving technique, but by insisting that attention itself could be radical. Nan Goldin's photographs cannot be separated from her life. Their value lies in proximity, vulnerability, and consequence. AI can simulate style. It cannot simulate stakes. In Camera Lucida, 1980, the French literary theorist and philosopher Roland Barthes argued that the power of a photograph can lie in its punctum, a small, often unintended detail that wounds the viewer emotionally. AI can reproduce style and structure, but it lacks the lived trace that allows punctum to emerge. It has no wounds, it has no memory. Andrei Tarkovsky wrote in Sculpting in Time, "What is the essence of the director's work? We could define it as sculpting in time." AI illustrates ideas extremely well, but it does not observe time. It does not endure it. AI does not sculpt time, it calculates pixels. In filmmaking, the art lies in the tension between the director and the unpredictable, the way a real actor's voice cracks, or the way natural light fades unexpectedly during a take. These are not errors to be smoothed out by an algorithm. They are the soul of the work. Commercial filmmaking may become a branch of data science, but the cinema of presence remains a human territory. So no, photography and filmmaking are not destroyed, but comfort is, mediocrity is. The illusion that technical access alone creates artistic value is collapsing, and this is uncomfortable, especially for those whose work relied primarily on tools rather than vision. Generative AI forces image makers to answer an old question with new urgency. Are you producing images, or are you making meaning, experience, and emotion? Those who were only producing will struggle. Those who were already artists will find their position clarified, not weakened. We are witnessing a separation between photography as visual manufacturing and photography as personal language. In the coming years, authentic presence will become rare, and rarity creates value. In the end, AI does not replace photography or cinema, it clarifies them, and what remains is the human act of seeing, intentional, fragile, temporal, embodied, and irreplaceable.